I'll be showing you all how to complete all of the Meteoric Rise challenges so you can unlock the Visitor Volta skin fast. And we are starting now. What's going on, guys? My name is Storm Ranger, and welcome back to one of my videos. If this is your first time here, you want to learn how to get better at Fortnite, complete your challenges, improve at all sorts of other Fortnite related things. Start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss out on anything. Alright, so on screen now you can see exactly what the Visitor Volta skin is. This is the mystery skin for Season 10, and it is based on the first ever mystery skin to ever come to Fortnite, which was a Visitor skin back during Season 4. Of course, credit to the Fortnite leakers, ShinyBR, and Lucas7Yoshi for leaking the skin, along with how to get the skin and all the challenges as of the time that I'm making this video. Of course, I will leave a link to both of their Twitters down in the description below. They're both fantastic leakers, and I highly recommend that you go give them a follow. Anyways, according to Lucas7Yoshi, we need to complete the A Meteoric Rise challenges in order to be able to unlock this skin along with its back bling. Now, since I'm sure that you will want to know exactly how to complete all of these challenges, I'll be going over how to do so now. Now, the first challenge is to destroy 10 structures with junk rifts. Now, this challenge is quite easy. In case you are unaware what a junk rift is, it is a new epic item that was recently added to Fortnite. These items spawn in, I believe, stacks of 2, and a player can hold up to 4 of them at a time. Now, in case you're unaware of what the junk rift exactly does, when the player uses a junk rift, it will spawn a random piece of junk out of the sky, which will crush the structure that it hits. Now, to complete this challenge, I simply advise that you go into the game mode Team Rumble, as in Team Rumble, you can spend as much time as you want looting without the fear of dying, or losing any of your items, as you can respawn within Team Rumble. Of course, whenever you do find a junk rift, just make sure to throw it at the nearest naturally generating structure, and make sure that you destroy that structure. And that's really it. This challenge is pretty straightforward. Just keep in mind, it may take a little while to find 10 junk rifts, so if you aren't in any rush, just don't go out of your way to find the 10 junk rifts. Personally, I just complete this challenge while trying to complete my other challenges, or from just playing the game for fun. But of course, do whatever you are the most comfortable with. Now, the second challenge is to visit 3 rift zones within the same match. Now, this challenge is not nearly as long as the previous challenge, as long as you once again play within Team Rumble. This is, of course, so you don't need to worry about dying when trying to get between the different rift zones. Now, in case you're unaware what a rift zone exactly is, a rift zone is a location that is surrounded by a bubble, meaning the former location is temporarily replaced with an older or different version of itself. On screen now you can see a map that consists of where all of the rift zones are as of the time that I'm making this video. Credit to an article published by Games Radar, written by Liam Wilson, for creating this phenomenal map. Just grab a vehicle like the mech when in a game of Team Rumble and work your way between each of these locations. As long as you do that, this challenge shouldn't be difficult at all. Now, the third challenge is to eliminate 7 opponents in rift zones. Now, for this challenge, I advise that you land at one of these rift zones that you can see on screen now when the battle bus flies directly over it in the early game. This is because there will almost always be a large amount of opponents landing there within the early game. Now, the early game at a hot drop is a very hectic part of the game, and there are many things that are dependent on luck. For example, a bad player could find a shotgun, while a good player might not find any gun at all. So because of this, I recommend you take advantage of the luck factor that is involved in the game to allow yourself to get a total of 7 kills. Just keep on landing these locations within the early game, and don't stop until you get 7 kills. And of course, while it will take you several games to complete this challenge, that shouldn't be a problem at all, because if you die, it's not a very big deal, because these games won't be long at all, since you're only playing within the early game, and likely will die after the first few minutes. Anyways, this fairly difficult challenge should be made a ton easier as long as you're landing at these locations within the early game. Now, the fourth challenge is to search 20 chests and ammo boxes at rift zones. Now, of course, this challenge is very easy as long as you play in Team Rumble. In case you have short-term memory loss, on screen now you can see a map of where all of the rift zones are. Of course, just land at one of these locations when it is ideally on your side of the map within a game of Team Rumble, and then search chests and ammo boxes. Now, since you don't need to search 20 chests and ammo boxes within a single match, I honestly recommend working on this challenge at the same time as the rest of your challenges, and not going out of your way to complete it. Anyways, this challenge is incredibly easy, and you should not have close to any trouble with completing it. Now, the fifth challenge is to land in a rift zone and then place top 10 in solos, duos, or squads. Now, once again, this challenge is related to rift zones that are in Fortnite. Now, placing top 10 should be easiest done within the game mode squads, as in squads, there are usually only about 25 teams in total. This is different than duos, where they're usually about 50 teams, and solos, where they're usually about 100 teams. So just keep in mind when completing this challenge, you'll need to outlast more teams if you complete this challenge in duos or solos. Of course, if you do need to find people to play duos or squads with, you can always make friends down in the comments, and like I always do, I'll be hearting all the comments that I see of people who are looking for friends to make it easier for your comment to be seen. Anyways, when you're actually in a game of Fortnite, you're going to want to camp for the entire game. Just avoid players and don't get into any fights, but only do this if you are either in a rush or don't feel that you're naturally going to complete this challenge without even trying anytime soon. But nonetheless, this challenge shouldn't be too difficult to complete. Now the next challenge is to consume 4 glitched forged items with different effects. Now glitched forged items can be found over at this location that you can see on screen now, which is located here on the Fortnite map. Now on screen, you can see what they look like. These glitched forged items are essentially different variants of the apple, mushroom, banana, coconut, and pepper consumables. Now the differences between the original variants of these consumables and the glitched versions are only aesthetic, as the glitched version of these consumables gave the same exact effect. Now to complete this challenge, just land at this location, ideally when it's on your side of the map within the early game of Fortnite, and then simply consume 4 glitched forged items. Of course, to eat some of these consumables, such as the apple, you will need to take damage first, so make sure that you manually take some fall damage before you go to consume some of these items. Another thing that you should keep in mind while trying to complete this challenge is that there will be a lot of people who will also want to complete this challenge. So to prevent yourself from being killed while trying to complete this challenge, just make sure that you land at this location when it's on your side of the map within a game of Team Rumble. But nonetheless, this challenge shouldn't be hard at all as long as you listen to my advice. Now the 7th and final challenge out of all of these challenges is to touch a giant glowing cube, enter the Rift Above Loot Lake, and search a landing pod within a Met. So for this challenge, you will need to go to 3 locations on screen now so you can see exactly where the locations are that you must go to. Just keep in mind, I believe that the floating island, which is where the cube is located, is moving around the map. So it is possible that this map will be outdated regarding the cube location. Anyways, on screen now, you can see what the giant glowing cube will look like. This cube is located over at the floating island, as I mentioned before. To touch it, I believe that you just must fly into the cube while you're in the air. Now, regarding the Rift Above Loot Lake, on screen now you can see exactly what that looks like. Obviously, regarding its location, is located above Loot Lake. Just make your way into this rift within any game mode and you will complete this part of the challenge. And finally, regarding the pod within a Met, on screen now you can see exactly what this challenge is talking about. To complete this part of the challenge, you just need to search this thing that is right here. I assume that this is the same way you would search a chest. Anyways, as long as you know where to go, this challenge should be a piece of cake to complete. Anyways, that has been how to complete all of the A Meteoric Rise challenges so you can unlock the Visitor Volta skin fast within Fortnite Season 10. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support the channel, I would highly appreciate it if you were to use my supporter creator, which is Storms, when purchasing anything within the Fortnite item shop. And if you want more help on your challenges, you may be interested in another video that I recently made on how to complete all of the Boogie Down challenges. Just click this annotation on screen now to watch that video. And if this is your first time here, you want to learn how to get better at Fortnite, complete your challenges, and improve at all sorts of other Fortnite related things, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss out on anything. All you must do is click this annotation. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.